Today we're going to be unboxing the BridgeCom Systems Maverick DMR transceiver, and this is my first time opening this box. So just to be clear, this is not a sponsored video. I bought this with my own money, and we'll be looking at what I received today together. And this is a VHF UHF receiver, 7 watts VHF, 6 watts UHF, which is pretty good. And it is again from BridgeCom Systems. They make some really cool stuff. Here's the included accessories, which we'll see in a second in real life. And let's see what we got. Okay, off the bat, nice box by the way. It comes with a manual, which is always handy. And here's the radio, but before I get to that, let's see. We got a programming cable, which appears to be included, which is really nice. There's a belt clip, strap, a USB-A to USB-C cable. Whoop, and that is an antenna that is kind of put in here under tension, so yeah, well, be careful if you get one of these guys, don't lose an eye. Here is the charger. And it looks like a second antenna, so I was not aware of this. It comes with 2 antennas. So that is pretty cool. And I'm guessing it makes sense, VHF and UHF antennas. And for DMR, obviously, we'll be using the UHF antenna pretty much. Comes with a USB style charger. Oh, and a Bluetooth PTT button, just like the mobile units from Anytone. Looks like it's the same unit actually. And that looks like, oh nope, I was wrong. This is probably the battery. Yep. And it comes with a battery, which is shipped separately, which is smart. And this is a 7.4 3100 mAh battery, which is a pretty good amount of storage capacity, so that should last a while. Now it's time to look at the actual radio. And I'm probably doing this wrong. There we go. Here's the unit. Let's pull it out. It's very tiny, so looks nice. Let's try and, there we go. Put the battery on. Put the let's put the UHF antenna on, which I think is the UHF antenna. And there we go. And it turns on. That's a good sign. So essentially this is what you get in the box. As you can see, the manual, 2 antennas and so on, just like you can see in the picture. They include all these things in the box. Be careful with the clip. It does come with 2 tiny screws, which I almost lost when I opened the bag. These little screws right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this and we'll continue from there. Okay, so here we are. Here is the unit. I wanted to put the clip on with 2 screws, because if there's a way to lose screws around me, I will certainly lose them. So it's on there, battery is on, and now we're ready to roll. Here we are. I just turned on the unit. It's asking me to set the time. I am in California, so it's going to be minus 7 or 8. I think it's 8. We can always change that later. I use the up and down button here to adjust it. Hit confirm, and here we go. Color display, very nice. By the way, it feels really nice in my hands. Looks like a really nice unit. It has nothing on it right now. There's no, I didn't install a code plug. Looks like my bike has something already pre-installed. I haven't checked. I literally just turned it on at the same time as you're watching this, so I'm not sure. Push to talk on the side. Looks like 2 additional buttons. 1 additional button here with 2 knobs. I have to look up what they do. I did notice the programming cable / microphone and headphone go there on the side, and looks like that's it. So that's something I'll go ahead and play with in a little bit. Let me see if I can go through the menu. Okay, it looks very similar to the AnyTalk radio that I have. In fact, it's looks almost identical, so should be easy to figure out if you have one. Nothing is going to be programmed here at the moment. If you're looking at the menu here, zones, scan, roaming, settings. Let's look at settings. Select, here we go. Device info, select, and it's all on defaults. Model number, it says it's the D890UV, frequency range, and the firmware version 1.03, hardware 1.0, and yeah, so pretty straightforward. So I'll be doing a little bit more on this after I learn it myself, but essentially this is what you're getting, and look for a future video going over maybe how to program a code plug and so on. One thing I should mention, this little push to talk button that it comes with Velcro, and if you're wondering what this Velcro is for, and looks like I just hit the pairing button. Basically, if you're using this in a car, for example, or someplace else, you can strap this around your steering wheel and operate hands-free, and or wherever else you might be operating this radio. So obviously it's not going to fit on your wrist, or at least not my wrist. But yeah, it's a really nice little feature. I used it a couple of times on my other radio. Just wanted to show you that's basically what it's all about. If you are going to get additional antennas, or if you intend to use this in your car with an external antenna, do note the connector type. It is not the usual what you would expect to see on, like, let's say Yaesu or Icon radios. So this is something to be aware of if you're antenna shopping. Make sure you get the right one. Also be careful not to bend the little inside pin there, because you will damage the unit. So just be very careful. Again, this is the style of connectors used on this radio, and just be very careful if you're buying replacement parts. Another thing to note, it does come with its own charging cradle. This is a rapid charging cradle model, looks like a QBC-47L, and when you dock this unit, make sure it actually clicks, because if you just kind of drop it in here loose, which you can actually do, it will not be charging. It's not plugged in right now, so obviously it's not going to light up. But and I've done this on my Yaesu as well. It's very important to line it up and make sure it clicks, or you might be in for a nasty surprise when you need the radio in the morning and it didn't charge. The manual seems to have pretty much the basics in it. There is an online manual you can download, as well as some sample code plugs. I already have a couple of code plugs that I have adjusted for the San Francisco Bay Area. By the way, if you need one, just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to share it. And yeah, that's basically the radio itself. I came out here while walking the dog to see how the weather station comes in. Looks good. Here's Kelsey, and she's ready to go. And looks like I'm getting really good reception out here. This is just in front of my house here. And this is our local and strongest NOAA station. And here's the hotspot that I am using currently. And I'm going to demonstrate it in action. Here is the handheld. Right now it's on disconnect. I am going to switch it over to, let's go to something really busy. Let's see. Well, obviously, there we go. That's good. Let's key down, and while I'm doing that, there I am. Here's Sanjay from India. Eric responding from Sweden. And I'm going to lower the volume, and as you can see, the DMR is displaying the station is listening to, the flag. This one is from Chile. Let's listen in.
Kilo Mike 7, Charlie Whiskey Charlie, Kilo Mike 7, Charlie Whiskey Charlie, do you copy? Yeah, this is Kilo Mike 7, Charlie Whiskey Charlie. Go ahead.
Okay. And to disconnect, I lowered the volume. To disconnect from this, what I usually do is I go to disconnect, key down, and that's it. That's basically all there is to it. And at the same time, here's the dashboard. Let me go to the proper frequency here.
Kilo Echo 2 Delta Sierra Bravo monitoring.
And you see the same thing as people are calling. Here's Ronnie. Looks like he just connected. Wait for the next person. Juan Carlos looks like he is calling from Spain, or it looks like he just connected. And essentially this is a dashboard.
Charlie, Juliet 73 Charlie Charlie, Victor Alpha 4 Alpha Delta Mike.
And essentially I'm looking at this on a Mac right now because it was just easier. But basically you connect through the IP address, depending on what you're using, or you can go to wpsd.local or pystar.local, depending on what software you're using. I'm using the WPSD software personally. I just kind of like it a little bit more, but it's your call. They're pretty much all the same, and I think they're all based on the Pystar anyway, so you're not missing out much. And there, you see it on the bottom, that 4000, right below that it says W6AR, disconnect. Let's try and go, instead of worldwide, let's try and go to another net, maybe as MSET, North California. That might be actually kind of busy. Connecting, and it shows me connecting. It shows my location. RF, meaning I use the radio. And somebody connected from Vienna, Virginia also.
KQ4 PQI, listening in Alaska, KQ4 PQI, CQ.
And I just disconnected. You probably saw exactly what I did. I just go to a pre-programmed frequency called disconnect, which is Togroup 4000, and that works pretty well.
Peter, my name is Sanjay, and my address is DTH, India.
So I connected over to the worldwide again, and I want to show you something. If you go to live color, you get a pretty cool little display here. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. Essentially, a lot of people have this running in a browser. This is running in a browser versus what I showed you before, which is running on a little screen that I have on the hotspot. And if you're on DMR, this is kind of nice to have. It's built in. If you're having problems connecting, go back to configuration. You make sure you have a name for this unit, call sign, DMR ID, that's yours. I have a NXDN ID as well. I just didn't put it in here for some reason. Pick a frequency that you like, and there's nothing else on, hopefully. And check to make sure that these are correct. And obviously enable DMR mode, which is right there. Rest here, you don't have to worry too much about right now. But if you're having a problem connecting, go to advanced. It will warn you that, back up your settings, don't screw this up. There is a tool in here. You can get to quick editors, full editors, all kinds of extras, but there's a couple of tools where you can actually adjust the calibration. I almost guarantee you'll need to do this. This is the MMDVM calibration. Basically, it's your modem. And what you do is if you want to basically get down to an error rate that's very low. Mine was actually offset approximately 250 hertz. So this is the base frequency, but the actual frequency with the offset was different. The way you do that is you start it, do DMR, and you key down on your radio. Here we go. Key down on your radio, and this should be very, very low, like mine. If you're having peaks and it looks like the backdrop in Switzerland, you need to adjust this. So right now, what you see here is, I could probably tweak it a little bit more even, but this is pretty good. It's under 1%. This is kind of where you want to be. So if you're keying down and you double checked all your settings on both the radio and the hotspot and it's not working, go to the calibration tool, adjust it. Mine actually worked okay, even with the minus or negative 250 hertz adjustment, but you could be off a lot more and it might not work. So something that's worth checking. When you're done, just stop it and back out of it. Okay. In here, go back to your dashboard. And I'm on 4000, disconnected. And also on this particular, this is a Zoom board. It's always time slot 2 and it's color code 1. So keep that in mind. You can also update the firmware. This is a Zoom Spot version 1.6.1. And you can actually go in and update all of your firmware, including the board firmware and the software, I should say, all in one shot. You can go here, reboot it, shut down. You go to WPS update. Let's run the update so you see what it looks like. Basically, it goes online. This is always connected to the internet through Wi-Fi. It goes online, fetches the latest software. It's probably not going to find anything because I just did this yesterday. And also, if there's newer firmware for your board, for I think most boards, or at least the common boards, it's available. And you should be able to basically do everything from here in one simple shot. So it's quite a nice upgrade versus the Pi-Star, which I used to use and I liked and I still like, but I played with both now, WPSD and this one, and in fact I go back and forth, and this is my, at least currently, my preference. So it's almost done with the update, or checking for the update, doing system maintenance, and let's see what it says after. I'm shooting this, by the way, using a camera versus screen capture, so I can show you my radio screen at the same time if needed. Okay, it's restarting services, and depending on which board you're running, this may or may not be as quick. You can run this on a Raspberry Pi 5 if you want, but that's basically like putting bicycle wheels on a Ferrari. Completely unnecessary. It's running on a version 2 just fine. An old Raspberry Pi 3 will work just fine. Even a 4, I would say, is somewhat of an overkill. You can, but there's no point. And here's the summary, and looks like there's no updates needed for the most. Actually, no, looks like there's no updates needed. So we're good to go. Go back to the dashboard. Here we are. Basically, if you're running DMR, mode's enabled, make sure DMR is on. Network status, DMR net, and color code, and your time slot, your ID should be running, and where you're connected to. Brandmeister 3102 United States for me. Might not be the same for you, depending on where you are in the world. Here it's a summary of current callers, last callers. It was me disconnecting. All my gateway activity, that's me. People who were coming in through, there's a California, worldwide, depending on what talk group I was in. This one actually had a 5% loss, which I was a little surprised to see. And then local RF activity, which was me. This was the last one. Obviously, I'm sitting right next to it, so it's an S9 plus 46 decibel signal, which is, you know, me being not even 5, like 3 foot away from the hotspot. And I'm running low power, obviously. Well, it tells you local, gateway, and current activity. This is basically all you need to see. One thing to keep your eye on, hit sysinfo. CPU load, if this is like at 80 or 90 or 99 even, I've seen on a older Pi, time to upgrade. Temperature, you really don't want it to get too high. This is actually, like I said, a little bit higher than I like. This is a 32 gig SD card, I believe. Yeah, it looks like it is. And I'm using 8.24%, even with some logs and things going in there and some updates. You can probably get away with an 8. I just happen to have a free 32. It doesn't hurt anything. And that's about the extent of the WPSD dashboard that I wanted to show you, as I'm running this with the brand new BridgeCom Maverick, which is a really impressive little DMR radio, I have to say. Before you go, there are 2 things I want to share with you. One is I'm doing a monthly giveaway, and I've been doing this since middle of 2025. These giveaways change month to month. Sometimes it's my paperback book, sometimes it's audiobook copies of the book, and once in a while I throw in things that were sent to me to review on the YouTube channel. On some months I even give away 2 prizes. There are many ways to enter. Here you can see a list of ways that you can enter, and some you can enter daily, so you can come back and enter for more chances to win. Also, you can bookmark this page and come back monthly, since the prizes change, and you never know what I might put up for a giveaway. Additionally, if you would like to support this channel, please be sure to visit the Maximum RF Amazon shop, where I am compiling products which I like. And also, since I'm an affiliate, this also helps support this channel and keep it going. So your support is really appreciated, and you can visit by using the address on your screen. I will also leave links for these things in the description below. Thank you for your support.